All right, guys. Thank you for joining me tonight. All right, the sound is good. All right, guys.
All right, guys. Thank you for joining me tonight.
Sorry. So, same old shit, different day, or same whatever. Same old shit, different day. How do I sound? How does it coming out? It seems like on my side. Thank you, Charlie, and thank you, Charlie, for that. Appreciate it. So, yes, guys, do me a favor. Joe, thank you for that. Don't forget at some point during the live stream to hit the thumbs up or the thumbs down, whatever floats your boat. Helps out with the YouTube bullshit, whatever. YouTube is making so many changes right now. Um, they are actively screwing a lot of people over. It's insane. Uh, with the shorts, for example, they want you to put more shorts up, and if you don't put any shorts up, your videos get buried in the bottom of whatever the fuck the bottom of the YouTube hell is. That's where you get buried. I found it interesting. Um, Even my wife, who accused me of unsubscribing her, uh, said that she was unsubscribed from me. So I don't know what they're doing, but they seem to be unsubscribing people who don't frequent the YouTube channels. So I noticed that I was unsubscribed from a couple of YouTubers, photography guys, and I'm like, what the hell's going on? I realized that I wasn't on either of their um, channels for a while, so they wind up cutting. They wind up unsubscribing me. But I know a lot of you people frequent me often enough that you shouldn't have been. But whatever, it is what it is. Yeah, like I said, I try to keep up with the shorts, man. But the shorts they're not hard. It's just a pain in the ass. And I guess there are ways of going around it, like cutting out a clip from one of my videos and putting it in the shorts, and then for more, watch the rest of the video. I don't know what to do, but they just want so much. It's like it's almost becoming work now. Like right now, it's not, and it's fine, but once it starts to become work and it stops being fun, I'm pretty sure I'm going to stop this. So whatever, that's down the line. I mean, we'll see what comes of this crap, but that is down the line. I when I Romy Davis, when I said that, I was like, that sounds weird, but yeah. So don't call me sir, call me survivor. Yeah, it's not a bad idea. I'll entertain. I'll entertain that. Amanda said, "Do short, slow dancing with your wife." Johnny 308. That's not a bad idea because that's actually a good idea because then I don't have to worry about the shorts being good. People will just glance at it for a second and then move on to the video. So it's not a bad idea. Jason Schmidt did not unsubscribe himself. That's pretty good. I like that. Um, Screw them with their own rules. Yeah, Johnny, you're right. Screw them with their own rules. You're right about that. Why are you never angry? Cat videos are good. Uh, Galwayne. Why am I never angry? It's just because it's just a name. I mean, I do get angry, but it's just a name. Checking in, Sarge 11B, 11 Bravo. Sarge 11 Bravo. You in the army? 11 Bravo. Isn't that Army infantry? Or am I wrong? Sergeant 11B, 11 Bravo. The Tahoe is 4-wheel drive. Yes, I wanted it to be all-wheel drive. I think all-wheel drive is pretty good, especially now the technology's. Sergeant 11 Bravo said yes, sir. All right. Yes, that is infantry Star Fury. Just things you hear over the time, and you hear it so often, especially in the fire department. So many guys in the military, you start picking up some of the I guess codes, right, or unit designation or number designations, however you call them. It starts to stand out after a while. Kathleen, the show time didn't change. My times are always 9 o'clock. I am trying to stay consistent with Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Wednesday being the Wednesday midweek report that I might not be doing tomorrow because I have to go downtown for an appointment. So if that appointment runs over noon, I won't be doing it. But if I get home in time, I'll do it. So the Wednesday midweek might not be happening tomorrow. So that's listen, that's one. That's okay. It's not the end of the world. And then I'm trying to stay consistent. But yes, it's New York. Thank you, Johnny. It's 9 p.m. New York time. It's always New York time, Eastern Standard Time, rather. 75 Bravo. What was 75 Bravo Star Fury? That I don't know. I know. I think is it 91 Whiskey is Medic, right? If I'm not mistaken, but I don't know what 75 Bravo is. Do a PETA video. People eating tasty animals. Anne Marie, that's nice. I like that one. Do PETA. People eating tasty animals. I like that. This no. I was gonna say this is spam included in that? No, it's not. Oh, sometimes I Google. Oh, you Google them sometimes. It's not a bad idea. 68 Whiskey's Medic. All right. Thank you, Phil R. 68 Whiskey. Dumb 20 Flatfoot. Yeah. Teddy Roosevelt, just a dumb 21-year vet, Flatfoot. 12 Bravo is combat engineer. 75 Bravo is administration specialist. Administration specialist. Is that it? That's an admin, right? Pretty sure that's an admin. Stacey Abrams. Thanks, but no tanks. Nice. Daryl Calhoun, Stacey Abrams, tanks, but no tank. No tanks. Pretty good. I like that one. NC NMCB3 here. Is that nuclear biology? I don't know. Funny when you guys rattle off fucking designations. It's interesting when you guys talk to each other. And you're like, yeah, I was in 8-1 Echo, and I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? But it's not meant for me to understand. It's meant for you guys to understand. It's like if I talk, a fire lingo, and I say a couple of things, people won't get it. But military is more interesting because that's like a nationwide thing. You guys understand. 91 Bravo OG Combat Medic. Ah, Bravo. IDF, what the fuck? I don't. MOS. 12 Bravo. And it's funny, sometimes I ask a guy what his MOS was, and a lot of the times I'll know what it is, but sometimes I'll say some weird shit. I'm like, don't know what that is, man. Can't help you. Can't help me. Explain it to me what you just said. Apartment 13 boy. CB's rock. I guess, Jimmy, you were a CB? Knew one guy in my entire fire career that was a CB. He's a lieutenant. Well, was a lieutenant. He retired now. What's going on, Pinball? Thank you for dropping in. Appreciate it. All right, guys. So enough with the yammering and chit chatting, but we're going to talk about the Great War of 2025. Now, me, the Angry Prepper, Jason Charles, however you want to call it, I labeled it as such because apparently there's a general in the military, and he's not retired, which is weird. But there's a general who predicts, Mike Minahan, 4-star Air Force general, who leads the Air Mobile Command, states that in his gut, he has a gut feeling there might be a war in 2025 with China. So he thinks it'll be a full-blown war, actually, not even like, skirmishes and tit for tat, full-blown war. So what that means is that between this year and next year, there has to be a catalyst or two that's going to lead up to that war. But again, this is a prediction. This is a gut feeling. This is not something that's going to happen. I have to stress that before people start sitting there going, you said that. No, I'm not saying that shit. Don't do that. I'm just saying that this is what he is predicting. And I guess, listen, guys, he has he's closer to that world than we are, so he would see the signs developing. Even though a lot of us, civilians, if you will, we see this bullshit coming along. We see this thing happening. So yeah, it's very interesting. Revolutionary Prepper. Yeah, we'll see what happened. That's a Becky Reed. That's why I said it's just a theory. Yes, and he might be talking with him because maybe the communist prepper knows better and he has more info. But whatever the case is, guys, this is just a prediction. That's all he's saying. He's saying that he's hoping he's wrong. Now we are seeing. We definitely have. There's definitely tension between Russia and the U.S. without a doubt. There is some tension between the U.S. and China, though I found it interesting in the articles I've read that the Chinese are calling this prediction bullshit. They're saying that he's, I guess, gaslighting and trying to create a problem where there isn't any. But again, if they read what he said, and he sent out a memo, actually, the general sent out a memo to his command, to the fleets in his command, and told them that they need to start preparing for a possible war in 2025. And he said possible. The Chinese rebuttal was that the U.S. general is hyping a war, and they called his hype reckless and provocative. So, yeah, equipped for him said, "I spoke to Full Spectrum. It's not 2025. It's next week. Buy food today." Very good, guys. I like the ball breaking. Shit. Lit Sai. Yes, Taiwan is definitely the flashpoint, is what the general mentioned. He thinks that because 2024 is going to be their election as well for presidency, as well as ours, that they think China is going to make a move soon after. Um, China is just, I think, interestingly enough, guys, the way China is looking at Taiwan, it seems at this point is he just has a hard on for them. He's just like he wants it for whatever reason he wants it for. Don't quite know why. I know they have minerals and stuff there that's very valuable, but at this point, right now, they could just fucking ask for it and they're gonna get it from Taiwan. Now, 2 years ago, shit, it was that long ago. The Taiwanese government, I mean not government, military general had stated that they would be ready to go to war with with China if they had to, but they would lose. All right. The Taiwanese president, as of the other day, said something completely different and said war with China is not an option. Well, we all know why it's not an option. They would get their asses handed to them. And we wouldn't be able to send a big enough force to defend them in the amount of time that the shit's going to go down. Because China could attack Taiwan right now and it can go down in hours. It would take about hours for the military, U.S. military, to respond in a manner that's going to make a difference for Taiwan and help them out, right? So China would actually steamroll over Taiwan if the shit popped off. But again, we have to wait and see. Now, President Xi Jinping secured his presidency in 2022, last year of October, right? The Taiwanese president, like I said, his name is Tsai Ing-wen, said in a recent letter to Pope Francis, armed confrontation is absolutely not an option for the self-governing island. So and I don't know why the Taiwanese president wrote this to the Pope, but whatever, now the Pope knows and the rest of the world knows that it's not an option. But what is the option? What is the other option? Because if armed conflict is not an option and China comes in, it seems like they're already giving up they before the fight's even in. So that's something to again, just to pay attention to. Don't run out to the store now and start buying shit you don't need. Be easy. Uh, you know, yeah, just take it easy. And if a particular channel pops on tomorrow and tells us that we're going to war with China tomorrow and we're going to die 5 minutes from now, well then that's that. Um, then we're all gonna die. But with that, listen, guys, I don't know. Like, even if this does happen, even if China attacks Taiwan, United States will respond. But I don't think we would go into a full blown world war over this. There is a weird thing happening with Russia and China right now, and they seem to be um, splitting apart. Right, so that brother pact that they made about a year ago, 2 years ago, right, where they made with China, Russia, Iran, a bunch of Venezuela, a bunch of countries together. They made this pact, and it seems like the pact is not going anywhere. And it seems that China, sorry, is stepping away from Russia. Um, so again, it's very interesting what's going on with Russia and China, and that's being kept quiet between those two. So you don't hear much about it, but you do hear people talking about it, and it's not going according to plan. And I knew this was going to happen because you have two superpowers. Again, thank you, pinballs called bricks. Uh, you had two superpower guys, Russia and China, both going into a pact together. That I was wondering who's going to prevail as the leader of this pact. I see both of them going at it with each other, and I think that's why the pact is sort of dissolving. Now, that's not official. That's just what I'm getting from the body language and the things that are being said back and forth between Russia and China. So, I don't know. We have to wait and see. Unorthodox said, not true, it's very strong. Yeah, unorthodox. I read something a couple months ago stating that the Chinese is not in lockstep with Russia. So listen, I mean that doesn't mean that the pact is going to break apart completely, but that does lend to what's going on behind the scenes. Again, I could be completely wrong, but that's what I'm getting. No, Kathleen, the brick is not falling apart. It's just what I'm getting from what I'm reading, that they're quietly letting it dissolve. Iran's in it too. Yeah, there's a bunch of countries in the BRIC Pact, and they were signing countries left and right, like they were signing up for a fucking basketball team or some shit. But again, haven't heard anything since. And China made that one statement about 2-3 months ago. So yeah, I'm gonna. That's the conclusion I'm coming up with. But I could be wrong. I am not a political analyst, so this is just Angryprepper YouTube bantering and shit talking, if you will. So, um, China will be keeping a close eye on Taiwan's presidency election next year, as would as they would after Xi Jinping for a reason to escalate military aggression in the region. I don't know what that means. I don't know if Xi Jinping is going to be looking at the elections next year with Taiwan and seeing who they put in, and if he doesn't like it, that's his cue to attack, or if the person he wants that's in, he'll just talk to them and take it. I don't know, but this general seems to think that China is going to be watching closely. Now, keep in mind, this officer's is on the inside, right? I said this officer's on the inside. He's privy to information we are not. So he could be looking at something. He could be seeing something. He could have telecommunications guys that we just don't know. Again, we YouTubers, I'm saying this is all my thoughts. I'm not saying this is happening. There are enough YouTubers that will tell you this is happening because my inside source said. All right. And here's the other thing. Does it really matter, right? So now, if this does happen, right, if China pushes on Taiwan, does it matter? Yes. So the United States gets into a bit of a squabble or a squall and tries to protect and help Taiwan as they promised for years. Does it really fucking matter? Do I think it's going to lead to the New World War? I don't think so. I think we'll be headed there probably before that. And if we don't go into a world war by then I don't think it's going to happen. Again, that's just my opinion. I know people keep saying he's poking the bear, but we have to wait and see. Everything's a wait and see, guys. Just that for YouTube channels, it's worth talking about, but that's it. All I could do is talk to you about this shit and what I find interesting about it. and that's it. I can't sit here and warn you guys that we're going to die in 6 minutes. 6 minutes starting now, right? Like, no. We just talk about this and then we move the fuck on, right? So, Minahan listed his goals of military preparations for a fight with China to his soldiers in the AMC, including building a fortified, ready, integrated, and agile joint force maneuver team ready to fight and win inside the first island chain. So Minahan is working a plan to attack should China attack Taiwan. So there goes the first line of defense, if you will. Um, that's pretty interesting. Now, the Chinese deputy director, Xing Kuang, I'm pretty sure I'm botching these names up, said something very interesting. He's the director of Center of American Studies at Fudan University, told Global Times on Saturday that it is fairly provocative and reckless for a senior U.S. general to make such confrontational remarks while ties between Beijing and Washington are at a low. So I find it interesting that this same director also said that maybe he's saying this to get more funding for his command over in the Pacific. Right. So again, I found that to be very interesting that the Chinese are looking for every excuse under the sun for not being what this is. Now, guys, we are watching tensions with China. So he is not far off, but he could also be wrong, right? He would not talk like that if he didn't already have the purchase order lined up. Chuck Norris Gun Club. Good point. Good point. So, such remarks will exacerbate the mistrust between China and the U.S. There's already a mistrust there. There can't once you start not trusting a country or a person, the trust is gone. So there is no more mistrust when the trust is already dissipated, gone in the air, right? Um, he says that it harms bilateral ties. The ties have already been harmed. I think the ties have been severed, and maybe this guy doesn't know this yet. He didn't get the memo. Who knows? Top U.S. Political leaders are aware that playing up such imprudent remarks will cause further damage to Chinese-U.S. relationship. Again, it's already damaged. Can't damage it any more than it already is. I mean, you could, right? You could start a war over it, but whatever. Um, they just think that that this will make things between China and U.S. hostile. Again, I don't see that happening. I don't see these remarks starting anything down the line, but that's me. Chinese military expert, oh God, Zhang Zhamping believes that by hyping the threat posed by the Chinese military, the U.S. general is probably trying to get more spending for his command. So there you go. Analysts said that the military personnel are generally cautious and avoid being imprudent when it comes to the risk of a real war because they are, after all, the ones who have to bleed on the front lines. But there are always some super hawkish war maniacs. I guess they're calling this guy a war maniac in the military, especially at the time when many in the U.S. are trying to win support by joining the race to show a tougher stance against China. So, guys, again, the this whole thing is a mess. Not a mess, but it's just one general's opinion, one general's prediction, and his prediction started all this conversation. So again, I don't see anything big happening out of this. I just thought it was a good conversation for tonight. That's all. I don't see this administration picking a lot of fights, with the exception of Russia. I don't see them picking any more fights. We can't afford another possible fight, let alone a fight. If we go to war with China, they're going to draft, without a doubt. And again, that's if we would go to war with China. We would start drafting. The Chinese military is larger than ours. And they have more men and women to throw at this fight because they have so many people. So if we go into war, if we go to war with them, we're absolutely going to start drafting, just because you're going to need that reserve of men and women to fight. Now, in case you guys haven't been paying attention, look at the state of our country and look at the state of our men and women. They are all psych patients. For the most part, they're psych patients. They are babies and man childs and woman child that cry about everything and anything. Imagine putting these fucking kids in war. It would not work out. Carol Davis, you're right. All of our equipment's in the Ukraine. Maybe we'll just have to go over, stop over to Ukraine, get some of our equipment back, and then head over, continue on to China and fight there. But yeah, guys, we couldn't afford a fight right now. We can't afford any war. I mean, I'm looking at this younger generation, and I'm like, what in the actual fuck is going on? Like, why are so many fucking people pussies about like everything? And so these kids who are crying about nothing, or the fact that their pronoun was misgendered or pronounced wrong, they're fucking crying and carrying on. And we're fucked. If this is this generation is supposed to protect us, we are fucked. We are 1,000% screwed. There's no way we're gonna get any viable soldiers out of this batch of this generation batch. We're not. Yes, Alex Jones. Yeah, too much soy. Whatever you want to say, guys. It's bad. You need to know. This generation. Listen, I got into an argument over a comment on. That it wasn't even an argument. I guess the other side was arguing with me. I was just making a point that the younger generation, this generation here, they bitch, moan, and cry about everything, dude. Everything. You name it, they're fucking crying about it. And all I said is that you guys make a mountain out of a molehill. With that, of course, they were like, "How dare you? You know that we have sufferings and we have worries." I'm like, "What worries do you have? You have seriously? What fucking worries do you have? The fact that you got a roof over your head, the fact that you fucking eat, 3 meals a day, the fact that you can actually go outside and go see a movie, go to the park without fucking being shelled. I mean, like, explain to me what hardships do you have?" And the person's like, "Well, COVID, people dying, war." I'm like, I said, in my generation, we had that too. We didn't have a pandemic, but we had fucking the Cold War. And at any moment, they were ready to launch the nuke, or at least according to the U.S. government. We had all of that shit to deal with as well, right? And we didn't fucking snap at the sight of every bullshit that went wrong. I'm sorry, but the kids built today, they're built like a bunch of bitches. Uh, the prepping artist. No, I didn't hear about that. That's fucking interesting. The prepping artist said probably like 10 minutes ago now. Did you hear about an app that illegals can use that is cheaper than coyotes to get them into the U.S.? Well, does it transport them here? I mean, like, I'd like to know more about it. A lit side. They'll probably have to draft old men. You're right, because oh, sorry, I fucked that up. Because who else is going to protect them? Kimber, yes, you can blame their bitch ass parents. You're right about that. Because a lot of the parents, the bitchery started before this generation. So this is like the final product, if you will, of the bitcheries we're seeing here. Um, oh, Mr. Tactical, yes, I am going to the Eastern Outdoor event. Myself and sorry, Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival, Mike, will be at the Great American Outdoor uh, Convention. That should be fun. I'm trying to go there with money, but I'm pretty fucking broke right now, considering I had a fucking situation popped up. So in my video earlier today, I said that my truck got towed. Um, I was super pissed at the firehouse. The lieutenant or captain, whatever it was, got my shit towed. It cost me $380 to drop my truck. I said, I'm right fucking here, guys. Whatever. It's not the point. So anyway, nowhere is safe to park my car. I park my car, around the corner from it. They break into it. I park it at the firehouse. They fucking tow it. I'm like, I can't park my shit anywhere. It's like, it's just fucking bad. So with that, there's always an issue. Now I told the guys, listen, you're going to be seeing my fucking car here. Do not fucking tow it again. He was like, oh, I'm sorry about that, and they also gave me a ticket, but the ticket's being handled. I'm probably gonna have to pay for it, but whatever. It is what it is. Alexander. Okay. That all right. Thank you for that. No, I'm not being targeted. It's just that first of all, it's a big truck in this neighborhood. So yes, it does stand out. I walk around and I'm like one of the only bigger vehicles in this neighborhood. So it is what it is, man. I just can't wait to get the fuck out of here. Me and my truck, taking my ball and going. Mr. Tactical, what day am I going to the 6th, 7th, and the 8th of next week? Right? Is that next week? Yeah, next week. The 6th, 7th, and 8th. Thank you. By the way, I have to get a hotel room uh, when I'm done with the live stream. Put the Tahoe in my barn and take the keys with me. Go Shira. Listen, I think if there is a draft, they're definitely they're gonna draft women. I think so. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, as far as the truck goes, I don't know. When they towed the truck, there was no scratches. I made sure of it. I reamed the guy out too. I was so fucking pissed. I was like, like you fucking pieces of shit. You fucking asked for 380 to drop the truck. I said you could have fucking did me a solid, being that I said I'm right fucking here. You didn't have to take it to the pound. Whatever, man. I called that guy all fucking sorts of names. That fat fuck, that motherfucker. And then the cop who was trying to fucking talk to me like a child, I had to fucking straighten him out. I'm like, yo, enough already. And I told her, I said, I'm in a bad fucking mood. It said, you talking to me like a child and this fat fuck fucking reaching in my pockets. I said, shit can get crazy. And the cop just let it the fuck go. I'm like, seriously, you're gonna fucking be. I was so fucking pissed, man. I didn't have that money. But whatever. It was what it was. Um, I'll make it back to fucking, driving Uber or some shit like that. Yeah, well, Bobo World, they wanted to have women um I guess, be a part of the selective service department. But interestingly enough, when women were sitting there going, "We're just as good as men. We can do anything a man can do." But when they started bringing up the selective service shit, all of a sudden they're like, "No, we're women. We can't do that. It's just not in our nature to kill." I'm like, "What the fuck just happened? You guys sat there for like 2, 3, 4 years talking about how you're equal to a man, but as soon as someone starts talking about selective draft, they went fucking deaf and blind and turned into Stevie Wonder. They were just like, oh no, that's not gonna happen. I was like, whatever. Yeah, I mean, listen, there's a lot of women that I know don't want anything to do with the draft. They want nothing to do with the draft. They're probably looking at other women like, shut the fuck up, because if you guys keep pushing this angle, they're gonna fucking put us in the draft. We don't want to be a part of the draft. But as soon as they started saying that shit, guys, fucking women went deaf, dumb, and blind. And that's the women who are pushing they're equal to men. So I don't know. I mean, listen, nobody wants to be drafted, and not like I would think that if you're going to be drafted, it's got to be worth it, you know. Um, but it isn't. There hasn't been a war that was worth it. Maybe World War II, maybe, and even then, that was a bit of a stretch. Like when you look at World War II now, I don't think there was ever a point in time that if Germany won, that they were going to fly over the fucking pond and start attacking the United States. I just don't think that was viable. The Japanese tried and they got their asses handed to them, right? Um, so I don't know if that was ever an actual thing. Because again, it was all propaganda back then from both sides. The German had their propaganda going fucking strong. We had our propaganda going strong. So who knows? Yeah, listen, like I said, I don't see them drafting anybody. Just like that, if we want the war with China, I can see it. I don't see them doing it now, and not for no reason, you know. But um, yeah, they should. You know what they should draft? They should draft these politicians, not politicians, but yes, politicians. But they should also draft these Hollywood actors out there. They're like, America, and we don't love this place. We hate this place. Fuck this place. Well, guess what, fucko? You don't like it, then maybe we should kick you out of this country. You have two choices: leave the country or go get drafted. That's how you get a lot of these celebrities to leave. You give them that ultimatum: fight and stay, or don't fight and be permanently kicked out. The two choices you can give them. I don't know. Um, John Livington, yeah, if she'd had that jaw, she would be rich. But yeah, listen. Also, somebody mentioned parking. I looked at parking garages all throughout this neighborhood, and they will not take my car. It's too heavy. It can't go in the lifts or the elevators. So, being that it's too heavy and there's only a certain amount of spots on the first floor, they will not take my car. You know, so it is what it is. I just have to make do and adapt to it. As soon as I can get the fuck out of here, it'll be a lot better for the truck. So, the firehouse said I can park over there. The problem is, and I forgot to mention this. The problem is over at the firehouse, they're breaking into the cars there as well. So they did put cameras on the front of that firehouse, but they were breaking in the cars left and right. So that's another problem. So I park at the firehouse, get my shit broken into, or I park it in front of the building and risk getting a ticket. And I'd rather eat the ticket because I figured they've been giving me a ticket about once a week parked here. That is the amount that I would spend. Actually, that's less than the amount I would spend on putting it in a parking garage. No, they don't want the Tahoe. They want what's in it, and there's nothing in it. I leave nothing in the car so that they don't break into the shit. But whatever. Maybe it's fun to break the glass. I don't fucking know. Just ordered a new door window for my car, $92. Yeah, well, I had when I got mine replaced. Actually, the insurance helped me pay for it, so it was a wash. So the nationwide trip I was looking to take might not be happening next month. Unfortunately, I ran into some major financial problems, and I'm not saying that for any woe is me. I won't be taking the trip next month. I'll have to push it back a couple of months, which fucking sucks. But I'm hoping to push it back a couple of months, and hopefully I can run into the springtime then of a lot of these places and capture some good footage then, especially a lot of the waterfalls and rivers then. So I'm hoping for that. So there's always an upside. Um, Parking tickets, Brian, are $75. So if I get them once a week, what's that? 4 weeks? That's 300 bucks. You figure if I pay them on time, it's 300 bucks. Parking for the Tahoe is about 450 to $500 a month. So regardless, I still win. I still save 200 bucks. I'd rather park it in the street, get the ticket, and pay it off right away. And Alexandra the Great, no, thank you. I read the text already. Thank you. That's not needed. So somebody said $75 for a parking ticket. That's nothing. Downtown, it's 115. Depends. If you're parked in a no parking zone, it's like $75. You're parked on a hydrant, it's 115. If you're parked at a meter but didn't pay the meter, it's 115. If you're parked in front of a police precinct, they'll tow your shit and give you a ticket, and they'll tell you shit right then and there. Yeah, like listen, yeah, you're right, Jimmy. The fucking city sucks. It just does. Now my placard gives me a little leeway, and my placard's going to be done by next year. I won't have a placard anymore, but the placard gives me some leeway. Not a lot, but some. So I still get tickets, but I just don't get them as often. No, you can't. Can't get blood from a stone. So that's another reason why I'm I had to pay. I had to drop a few $1,000s on something that I did not want to fucking do. Nonetheless, I did, and my thought process is like, fuck it. So I only have to do it for another month, and then that's it. I'm done. And then I could put money away and then take this trip. Renee Johnson, here in the city, there's no. Right now, I'm parked in front of the building. Right now. But that doesn't mean, and I do leave it there when I shouldn't, because the problem with this neighborhood is that if you leave the parking spot, you're done. Right? So you won't get a spot for the next 2-3 hours. That's $3,600 a year for parking tickets. Just about, yeah. Just about. That's why I can't wait to get the fuck out of here. Anne Marie, you're legally allowed to park within a certain amount of time. So here in the city, for example, you have to move your car between 7 and 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm usually up by 6:30, but I'm never downstairs till about 8. So by the time I get downstairs, I already missed it. A lot of the times I don't get a ticket, but after the 8 o'clock, you have to pay for a meter every 2 hours or 3 hours in front of the building, and every 2 to 3 hours you got to pay the meter. That's about $3 to $6 every hour or 2 hours until 7 o'clock or 6 o'clock. I forgot what the time is. Bubble World. That's what the placard does. It gives me a little leeway, but not a lot. Because you listen, I mean, like there are traffic cops that give cops fucking tickets with their placard in the window. So he says, "Don't feel so bad about the $250." Yeah, yeah. Well, a speeding ticket. I mean, I get those too here in the city. Like I don't speed as much anymore around the city because they got those speeding cams all over the place. And here they're only like $75 or $50 or $75. One of the two. I can't remember. Now use can't park. Yeah. Yes, Bubba, where I'll take that long to put my makeup on. I'm up by 6:30 and I'm reading and all this other bullshit and by 8 o'clock I'm just like I look at the time, I'm like, fuck it. I get a ticket, not a big deal. Like I said, I'd rather pay the ticket than again park my car was gonna get broken into or have my shit towed. So I'd rather deal with the ticket. Should have gotten a Vespa, probably. Then I could have parked it on the sidewalk. I mean, listen, like with all of the people breaking laws and crimes all over the city, it's amazing how I've been getting jammed up the last couple of months. It's just like, seriously? You got motherfuckers running in the stores and ripping shit out of the stores and taking shit with them, and yet somehow I keep getting jammed up. It's fucking insane. Well, Alexandra the Great, that's the idea. Move somewhere cheaper. Nostradamus, yes, I am a profit center for the city, pretty much. But if I racked up, let's just say I'm about to leave and they hand me like something like 8 tickets or whatever like that, I wouldn't pay like the parking tickets. Once I leave, I'm not paying them. They never, they'll never see a payment, and they usually eat those when people move. They usually eat them. So, I preparing prepper for me. I don't know what the fuck that says. Yes, I looked into glasses, and my I've been doing these eye exercises, and they've been helping, but they've been like super temp. The eye exercise is super temporary. Like my eyes are good for like the day, and then the next day I wake up. Maybe I'm supposed to do them every day. Maybe that's what it is. But I've been doing these eye exercises, man. I'm like, and they do help. But like today, I went like this when I was reading, and I was like, "Holy shit!" I had the book here, and I went like this, and I fucking couldn't see a thing. It was just like one line across. I was like, "What the fuck, man?" I did this. I tested my eyesight 2 weeks ago, and I was able to read from this distance. It was blurry, but not bad. I could still read it. I did it today. I couldn't fucking see a thing. I'm like, what the fuck? So I started doing the eye exercises, and then I did it again, and I was able to read it a little better. So maybe if I like any exercise, if I do it every day, my eyesight will get better. But it's actually legitimate eye exercises that eye doctors would like you to do before they some eye doctors would like you to do before you go right to glasses. Because once you start wearing glasses, that's it. It's a wrap. The Rios 7018. Do I have the arm ticket? No. Why would I take that? I'm not an asshole, man. Did you sell your Harley? Jason, I sold my Harley a long time ago. Long time ago. And not even I sold it. There's actually it's a fucked up story behind it. But yeah, I haven't had that Harley in over 10 years. Admit you're old. Anne Marie, if I get bifocals, that's it. It's done. With the gray hair on my chest and the fucking broken knees and my Folgers fucking cup of coffee, I'll be sitting with a lady named Gertrude playing fucking bingo with my bifocals looking over the top to see if I got B fucking 2 right. You know? No, thank you. Scott Neff, yes, I know. They've been trying to get me to get to Oklahoma. But I got a couple plans that I want to implement first before I move till I settle in. But where I'm moving, not moving next, but where I'm going next is just for business purposes. The Angry Senior, yes, the Angry Senior Citizen, Grandpa Prepper, you name it. Poor Man One. I've been getting AARP fucking emails for the last couple of months now. It was as if my eyes went bad, and all of a sudden I was getting AARP like they knew. They were like, "Oh, he's blind. Let's send us an AARP fucking discounts." I can't even get. I get like some of the discounts are cool, but I can't get any of them. I'm too fucking young. I think you have to be like over 60. And I thought AARP was dropping some of their benefits or some of their discounts to like younger people, but I'm still too young. I'm still fucking. I'm 45. I'm not even 50 yet. AARP's the devil. My max bench is now, it's only 380. It used to be 405, 425 screaming like a bitch. But now it's only 380 or 385. Ken Steps at AARP's ripoff. Oh, no shit. I didn't know that. Senior citizen discount starts at 52. Really? No shit. I didn't know that. Kick in at 55. The prepping artist said, "We are youngsters." Well, we're youngsters in comparison to the old people that are on here, yeah. Anne Marie says, "I'm your age and I get AARP too." Yeah, like, what the fuck is that, man? AARP is AIDS? Okay. She said, "You didn't," Mrs. T says, "You didn't get the memo. Over 40, your eyes go and forget trying to back up your vehicle anymore." Well, Mrs. T, that's why I have the Tahoe has not a dash cam, backup cam. So I use that now. Yeah, because you lose. I mean, like I I can park the truck now because I have a feel for it without looking in the dash cam. So I'm still checking the mirrors. I'm still doing that because listen, the dash cam, the backup cam can break. There's all kinds of cameras all over the Tahoe. I got fucking cameras on the side so I can see the top. I got the front, the back. It's like cameras everywhere. It's like this thing is fucking awesome. It's an awesome truck, man. I'm enjoying it. I want to get it out of this neighborhood so I can enjoy it a little more before it completely becomes broken into. Comet Moon says, "You're 45, you look younger." I don't think I look younger. If you see the gray hair in my fucking chest, you'd be like, "Oh my God, what are you, 65? AARP is a Democrat PAC, is it? I didn't know that. I don't know anything about AARP. You guys could tell me right now AARP was developed by aliens, and I'm like, really? Because I know nothing about it. Amex is better. AARP's a bunch of liberals. Okay. Amex. I'll be sure to look out for Amex in my email now that you mention it. Because it's as if you say a fucking word now, it appears in your email or in your fucking, your what you call it, thread. Sarita, thank you. Oh, Sarita, by the way, I'm gonna send you that thing. I got to get back to it. I'm sorry, I've been busy with a lot of the shit, but I can send you that thing that I told you I was gonna send you. Join Amex. I'm not joining anything. I'm gonna wait till they find me. I'm not joining a fucking thing. The angry retired prepper. Denise says I'm a member of MX. MX. Shit, Jay Holland, thank you for it. That wasn't the story. Was thank you, by the way. I appreciate that, but that wasn't for the the ticket thing. It just that was just what we go through here in the city. We go through that in the city. Appreciate that, man. Thank you. Um, what type of backpack you recommend? Weight and sinker. What type of backpack do I recommend? If you can afford it, I would look into Ebola stock bags. Ebola stock bags are tight. They're really good and they're comfortable. Who's the other one? Mystery Ranch is not bad either. Mystery Ranch is pretty fucking good. Mystery Ranch is a good bag as well. Ospreys are not bad bags if you're looking for camping bags, but yeah, as far as like sturdy, tough, tactical-ish, but not completely tactical looking bags. Looking at Ebola stock, they're not bad. 511 isn't bad either. Again, it depends on what you're doing with the bag. Is it your bug out bag? Is it your get home bag? Is it a scout pack? If it's a scout pack, I would go with the Hazard 4. They have something called the Officer's Front. Those are really cool scout packs as well. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't like dump sacks. I hate dump sacks, and I hate dump sacks that don't have a barn door. So a barn door is the zipper opening in the front of the pack, not so much just the top, but you also have one on the front so that you can access your gear in the front and not from the top. And those are dump sacks, right? So dump sacks is you dump everything in it, and then you got to dig through the bag to get everything out. Door, what you call it with barn doors or eggshell doors, whatever they call them now. When you open it, you can access everything from the front, and you don't have to dig through the whole bag to get everything out. That makes sense. Vet prep. I didn't give it away. I gave it to somebody else. So I will make up for that. I do have a couple of things to give away. I might do it Thursday night. I might do a giveaway. I have a couple of things to kick off, but we shall see. Um, I think I haven't done the giveaway in a while. I think I should do one. It's been a while. Just so many things going on, man, and something else I have going on that's fucking bad. But when when things are settled, I'll talk about what it is. Right now, I'm not going to mention it. Don't call me sir, call me survivor. Yes, I'm still moving, but what do I think of DeSantis? DeSantis seems to be a home run right now. DeSantis seems to be knocking it dead. I know he's got that thing where he's talking about they were talking about the whole African American studies and how it sounded like bullshit with that whole African American study shit. Zipperneck, man, thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. Buy just for men to dye your chest hairs. Very good. Also, guys, tonight on the Angry Truth channel, we're going to be talking about what CNN did. And what CNN did is in regards to the whole Tyree Nichols incident or killing, however you want to look at it. CNN pulled a bullshit move, and they're absolutely trying to do something. Now, we're going to talk about the Tyree Nicholson beating as well. I'm impartial about it because I watched the entire video, and I'm like, he should not have gotten his ass handed to him the way he did, but he also ran from him, and I don't know what the fuck he was thinking when he did. He was fighting them back pretty good, but you can also argue he was fighting them back because he was getting beat up. There is that argument, but it's an interesting, shitty case. But we're going to talk about that on the Angry Truth in about 10 minutes on that channel. We're also going to be talking about Senate Bill S3515. Senate Bill S3515, guys, relates to police officers maintaining liability insurance here in New York State. It was drafted up today. We will talk about it in 10 minutes and what that's going to mean for cops in New York State, not just New York City. They are absolutely going to finish off the police department if they require police officers to get liability insurance, guys. Liability insurance, yeah, it's a fuck you. It's the biggest fuck you to PD. So I was asking my son's mother, she's a cop, and I'm like, what are you going to do if this goes through? This just got drafted again. She goes, I don't know. I'm like, listen, I would fucking pay for her to leave that job. Whatever she's getting paid, I would try to match it. If I have to fucking drive Uber or whatever the fuck it is just to match that pay so she can leave, I would do that. Because I don't want to go down it. It's just going to piss me off. But you're doing this for a reason. Now, somebody's saying that they want to federalize cops. If you federalize cops, guys, that's a whole nother can of worms that is going to end up badly for a lot of people, cops and civilians. It's not going to get fucking any better. But liability insurance, guys, is fucking bullshit. It really is. Joe FW, not anymore. Police here in New York State do not have qualified immunity anymore. That went away. A lot of states don't have qualified immunity anymore. It's done. Well, Thomas Fleming, again, I mean, it was bad. You know, I mean, I'm watching him hit him. I'm like, damn, man. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? You know, it was bad, but yeah, it was a shitty beating. And the thing is, people want to make bones about it, but the cops were arrested. They're arrested, they were charged, and I don't think they're getting out. You know, they probably have some kind of bail, but they're not getting out. And if you look at the video, guys, the aftermath of the video, those cops didn't think they did anything wrong. See, so when you looked at the George Floyd case, you could tell that the cops knew something was bad and something was wrong. But those cops, if you look at the video, they didn't think they did anything wrong. So that speaks volumes to me. That they had that their body language said it all. But again, we'll talk about that in a couple minutes on the Angry Truths channel. So I want to dive a little deeper into it because yeah, and Jim, that was the other thing too. Something seemed off about him. I am not saying that he deserved it, not by a long shot. I'm just saying something was off about him. Even before they started throwing punches, there was something like either he was high or he had some kind of fucking a problem. Because the way he was talking at them, the way he looked at them, had the look of somebody that had something going on upstairs. Aaron Seacrest, thank you for the donation, and I appreciate it. They said privatize cops or deunionize cops so they are treated like normal civilians. Yeah, but Aaron, the only problem with that is then there's no separation. I mean, listen, certain places need law and order, and other places don't, right? I mean, look at. I hate to do this. Look at Lily, rich white neighborhoods. They have less police patrolling their neighborhoods because they have less crime. But then a neighborhood like this, a neighborhood like Harlem, Washington Heights, right? Neighborhoods like this, you need cops here. You don't have cops, you see what you get. You get people running amok. Lincoln Kareem channel. I never actually watched that, or maybe I have, but it's been a while. Tales from the Lyft Driver. That wouldn't be a bad channel. Yeah, Sergeant 11 Bravo. I don't think he was on drugs, but something was wrong with him. He was clearly off. I just don't know what. You know, maybe he had a seizure. Maybe he had a seizure prior, and that was his what do they call that? Not postictal. Fuck, what is it called? When you're coming out of a seizure. It could have been that. That's why he was driving erratically. They said he was driving erratically, and his response to the cops were fucking just strange before that went down. Is it postictal? No, it's not postictal. There's a term when you're coming out of your seizure. That's what he might have been. Postictal. Okay, I think I had it right. Right. And yes, that could have been it. And Blue Vandal, that was the thing. He was fighting with them. That was the other problem. He was fighting with them. But he was a skinny guy. Those 5 dudes should have had him on the ground with no problem, right? There shouldn't have been a point where he was able to run away from them. But I don't know. I don't know. Now, Vision, listen, I'm going to talk about that in a little minute, but thank you for bringing up that concussion thing, because there might have been posectal. There might have been something going on in the car before all of that transpired. It is postictal. Yes, 11 Bravo. You're right. It is. Okay, I'm trying to remember it, but I mean, listen. I mean, I'm not sitting there saying what the cops did was right. Not by a long shot. Not at all. But still, um, there was resisting. So, and those 5 cops again should have got him on the ground. I don't know why they didn't. I don't know what the fucking the tussling was. I mean, those are some big dudes, and he was a skinny guy. And we know that like skinny people are wiry and they could fucking slip through shit like an eel. But nonetheless, it was just a weird thing. Yeah, Joe FW. Yeah, he was driving erratic. So EMTs, Papa Bones. It was EMTs, if I'm not mistaken, that were being charged. 2 of them were fired, like the next day. Oh, Harriet Tubman's shotgun. I will talk about that. Yes, the migrants. I might do a video. I might go out to that hotel and do a video in front of it. I might do a live stream. I might not. We shall see. But yes, that. Thank you for bringing that up. Matter of fact, we're going to go off the air now and give myself 3 minutes to drink water and take a leak, and we will start and we will talk. And Harriet Tubman shotgun, please bring that up in the chat again on the Angry Truth channel. Other than that, guys, yeah, thank you for joining me tonight. Thank you for dealing with my bullshit. Thank you for the donations, guys. Thank everybody for the donations. I appreciate the support. I will see you guys in the next video. Wait, sorry, the next live stream. All right. Thank you, guys. Good night.